It wouldn't be a stretch to say that TCM hasn't had the greatest start to its live service support, and as we approach the 1-year mark, fans are wondering if this game will even be around past 2024. In only a year, this game has been through an identity crisis, insane queue times, and lost Sumo Nottingham, who were one of the original developers for the game alongside Gun Media. If you take all of that at face value, it's easy to assume that this game is probably on its way out, but what if I told you that we may yet witness one of the greatest comebacks in gaming history? Okay, maybe a little bit of an exaggeration, but hear me out on this one. I think TCM's in for a really good second year, and that we may just merely be witnessing the beginning of what is to be a really awesome comeback. In this video, I'll be going over the various problems and issues that have plagued this game since launch, and how a comeback may or may not be possible. Since launch, TCM has been in an identity crisis, and it's due to a very simple yet complex reason. See, the folks who developed the game developed it with casual play in mind, since their previous work, Friday the 13th, was more of a casual title as it was a 1v8. This meant that the killer could be stupidly overpowered, but it would still be fun to play as a survivor since there were so many damn survivors. I myself have put some hours into Friday the 13th, and yeah, I'd say it was a very casual game that was fun to play on both sides, and honestly, I'd probably still be playing it if they hadn't shut the servers down, but whatever. However, TCM is a 3v4. Which makes the gameplay fundamentally different, and I can confirm that it plays more like a comp game than anything else. So the problem is that the devs have built, and continue to build, the game with the idea that it is a casual game, while everyone playing the game plays it like it's a comp game. This was one of the reasons I stopped consistently playing the game back in November, since I was a family main, and well, let's just say I got trick stabbed one too many times while trying to shut off pressure valve, and and after that it was just a matter of time before I just said, yeah, I'm not having fun anymore. So being in this sort of weird identity crisis, where it's like, yeah, we're building it as a casual game, but it's definitely plays like a competitive game, is not really a fun combo, truth be told. However, things might be shifting soon towards a more competitive game, as recently the skill trees got an update where the random skill nodes were replaced with dedicated skills. Honestly, I found the random skill nodes to be kinda silly, since people would spend literal hours respecking trying to get the best combo of skills possible. But now, with each character having dedicated skills, it'll mean that each character will actually have a niche playstyle with positives and negatives attached to them, aka a competitive meta. It seems that the devs have finally accepted TCM for what it has become, rather than build it into what they think it should be. And in my personal opinion, I think that's a step in the right direction. I first started playing TCM when it launched back in August of 2023, and for the first 2 weeks I was exclusively a victim main, and honestly, life was great. I was having a lot of fun playing the game. It was just a blast. That was until the queue times for victims started getting longer and longer, and eventually got to the point where it was ridiculous. First it was 30 seconds, which was fine, then a minute, okay, 2 minutes, then eventually it got to a whole 3 minutes just to find a single lobby. Notice how I said lobby, not game, lobby. Because when you finally got into a lobby, you had to pray that nobody left, or else the lobby would glitch, and then you'd have to start the whole process over again. Like, Jesus Christ. It got to the point where I was waiting 10 or more minutes just to play a single victim game, and eventually I just said, fuck it, and started playing Family. Now, Family didn't have this problem. They had like a 10-second queue time. But man, it was miserable at times to play Family, because the game's balance heavily favored the victims. It is my belief that the reason queue times are so damn long for victims has nothing to do with the player population, because it's perfectly fine. There are still plenty of players who regularly play TCM, but it's mainly due to the fact that, well, I mean, everyone loves playing victim, nobody likes to play Family, and people who make the transition from victim to Family end up quitting, which I like to call the victim to fuck it I quit pipeline, which is basically what happened to me. But there's just too many damn victim players and not enough family players, because family is just fucking miserable to play as. So in summary, everyone wants to play victim, no one wants to play family, and this is still a problem even now. However, the devs have taken steps to fixing this issue, such as balancing the two sides better, and penalizing players for leaving lobbies, which, yeah, fair game. I want to emphasize I want to put an emphasis on the fact that these are merely steps in the right direction, and that the devs would actually have to change like the fundamentals of the gameplay, the way the game actually plays. Not some like some little hotfix isn't gonna fix this issue. They've been doing hotfixes for what feels like forever now. It's not gonna help. It's not working, guys. You gotta do something. Now, whether that's like increasing the number of victims that there are per lobby and then buffing the family members, I don't know. I'm not really good at this whole game dev stuff, you know. The trope is that gamers think they know what they want until they actually get it and then they don't want it. So like, it's really, the devs really need to sit down and figure this one out themselves, because quite frankly, I mean, something has to change. I'm not exactly sure why Sumo Nottingham left the TCM team. I've heard two predominant narratives. One is that they had another project they wanted to work on and just didn't have the time or resources to do that and TCM, but I've also heard that they more or less got booted off the project due to poor performance and are being replaced with Black Tower Studios. Now, if y'all got any info on this, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, because truth be told, I've got nothing. I don't know what's right or wrong. So, while I can't confirm or deny the rumors, I can give the facts, which is that apparently, after the transition between studios is complete, TCM is going to start receiving monthly updates. Pretty insane declaration if you consider that in the 10 months that TCM has been out, we've only gotten 2 new maps, 2 new family members, and 3 new victims, and they are promising that every month there will be at least one major update. Also, cosmetic items are now going to be created by an outsourced team, so that Gun and Black Tower can focus solely on content for the game. This is exactly what the TCM community needs at a time like this. The fact of the matter is that the previous strategy didn't work, no bueno, and that the fact that they are switching it up now this late into the live service cycle means that they haven't just given up on the game, that they're actually going to, you know, try to make a comeback here. While I have been, for the most part, frustrated with the way TCM has been handled these past 10 months, I really desperately want this game to be good and for it to have a thriving community and a future that isn't just going to be like, yeah, we're shutting down the servers after 2 years post-launch. Like, I actually want it to have a future. Now, with that being said, I mean, it is definitely possible for a comeback to happen. I mean, it's really, in the modern era of gaming, it's not uncommon for live service games for in their first 1 to 2 years of service struggle mightily to sort of get the formula right. And so, you know, I'm not going to rule out TCM because they're having a bad first year, but that's just, the key word is get the formula right. They need to get this right. I do like the moves they've been making. It is a positive sign, but again, they need to really, like, they need to actually start working on the core gameplay, and actually, because the hotfixes aren't going to cut it, they need to start fixing the game, like, fundamentally. In my opinion, if they leaned into the competitive meta, delivered on their promise for monthly updates, and also fixed those damn queue times for victims, one way or another, I feel that would be an amazing start to what would be a snowball effect that would result in this game eventually, like maybe in year 3, really popping off. But yeah, that's it for me. That's just my opinion. Okay, I guess if I had to make a prediction, I'd say yes, TCM will still be kicking 2 years from now. You can hold me to that. But yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm honestly thinking about it. I'm playing so many games right now. I'm playing through like The Witcher 3. And I'm doing, like, it's just, it's, okay, The Witcher 3 isn't the only game I'm playing, but, like, you know, it's a long-ass game. But I'll get around to playing this game. But, like, if I see that, okay, they are actually doing monthly updates and delivering on stuff, then yeah, sure, I'll play it. If you liked the video and you want to see me talk more about this subject matter, feel free to leave a like. That's how I'll know to make these types of videos in the future about this type of game. What else do I need to say to boost the algorithm? Oh yeah, comment what you think is going to happen to TCM. Do you think it's going to thrive? Do you think it's going to die, or it's something in the middle? What are your thoughts? There's like a hair in my keyboard. That's it. And yeah, see you in the next one. Take care.